Hello, my name is Jay, and today we're going to be talking about philosophy. The interesting thing about philosophy is that it can be a little bit challenging, but we're going to try and make it as simple as possible. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to set up a moral dilemma and look at it from three different angles. We're going to look at it from a utilitarian standpoint, a deontological standpoint, and a care ethics standpoint, and see what those philosophers would have to say about this situation. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Stephen. This is Stephen here, and Stephen has to use the restroom. While in the restroom, he enjoys reading, well, philosophy. But to set up our moral dilemma, let's see what happens when something unfortunate happens to Stephen. Ah! As you can see, Stephen just fell off the toilet, and it turns out he went to the hospital and he fractured his arm. However, he has a crush on a girl, and her name is Hannah, and she just happens to stop him on the way back to his dorm.
Can I sign your cast?
Of course.
Thank you.
How'd you break your arm?
Well, you see...
And freeze! Alright, now we have created a moral dilemma. Stephen is now poised with the question of whether he should tell the truth about how he really broke his wrist. Now, let's look at this from a philosopher's standpoint. Specifically, let's take a look at a deontological response from Immanuel Kant. This is Immanuel Kant. He was the father of the deontological viewpoint. In essence, if you call yourself a deontologist, it means that you tell the truth no matter what. It's concerned with actions, not consequences, and moral value is decided by the goodness of an action. So, let's see how Stephen would respond if he was a deontologist.
So, I was trying to get some toilet paper, and I kind of fell off the toilet and broke my arm.
You fell off the toilet?
Now, as you can see, Stephen told the truth no matter what. Now let's look at a different philosophical viewpoint, utilitarianism. To be utilitarian means the ends justify the means. Now, let's take a look at Jeremy Bentham. Now this is Jeremy Bentham. He was known for being utilitarian. To be utilitarian means that the ends justify the means, meaning that in order to make sure that he doesn't embarrass himself and scare away his potential date, Stephen is going to do whatever he has to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, so my friend dared me to go over Niagara Falls in a wooden barrel, so I got the wooden barrel, got in, going down the river, fell over, and, the only thing that happened was I broke my arm, so win-win for me.
So you fell off a 167-foot waterfall?
Yes.
You're still alive?
Yes.
Stephen, that's not true.
That was a utilitarian response. As you could see, he did whatever he could to not tell the truth because he didn't want to be embarrassed by the fact that Hannah was going to laugh at him for falling off the toilet and fracturing his wrist. Now, let's look at this from one other philosophical viewpoint. Let's see what someone from a care ethics standpoint would say about something like this. Lastly, we should talk about care ethics. Care ethics, simply put, means that you're going to try your hardest to preserve the relationship between two people. Or in this case, Stephen is going to have to try and preserve or nurture the relationship that he wants. Let's see how he would do this.
Yeah, I broke my arm, but that doesn't really matter, but how are you doing today?
Okay, well, I hope it gets better soon.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Did you want to maybe get some McDonald's sometime?
Okay.
Alright, now that we've showed you a few different ways that you can respond to the question, now we're going to ask some people on our campus the exact same question and see what their responses are. This should be fun.
Okay, so if you fell off the toilet and broke your arm, and your crush came up to you and asked what happened, what would you do?
I'd lie to them. I'd make something up. That's embarrassing.
What would you say?
I broke my arm.
what would you do?
I tell the truth and make a joke out of it. Get those sympathy laughs. Bang. That's money.
What? What's the question?
If you were on the toilet and fell off and broke your arm, and your crush came up to you and asked how you broke your arm, what would you say?
It depends how open-minded the person is, but if I like them, then they have to be open-minded, so I would tell them the truth.
What would you say?
Nothing.
You just ignore
I
them?
would just ignore it. I wouldn't say anything. I'd be too embarrassed.
And there you have it. 3 different viewpoints. Now the last question is, what would you choose? How would you choose to respond to this situation? Listed in the comments below.